We are now live. Peace, peace, peace to the family. I am Tahuti Forever. I'm the architect of Melanation. You've reached us on today at the Post-Maafa Reconstruction. We're here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Arizona time. And I just want to make everyone aware that Arizona is the only state that does not participate in daylight savings. So if you're outside of Arizona, we may be an hour ahead or an hour before, depending on your time frame. But today's session, we're here to speak to the family, to open communications and explain what our company is doing and our goals. So, if you would like to introduce yourself, let's start from the left here, Miss Lizzie Woody.
Oh, I want to be on the right. No, I'm sorry. Uh, Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lizzie Woody. I've been around here in Arizona for about 40 years. I retired from the Navy and I made Arizona my home. And what I've been doing for many years is just trying to bring us together as a community by sharing information so that we will know what we're doing so that we can support each other. And that has been my journey. And let's just say melanation jumped out of my head into uh, Mr. Humphrey's head. And it's like, wow, we can make this happen. We can make this happen. So I'm excited about being a part of Melanation Nation because it's going to bring us together, as we grow. And we are growing right now. We are building right now. So just come along and build with us.
Yes, we are in the beginning stages of a long journey, but we're here for good going forward. And I do want to give the audience your title, which is the Public Relations Manager, which she was given this title because this is her life's journey. She's been in the public sharing information with the community for many, many years. And we just decided to give her flowers and give her title based on the work that she's been doing in our community. Everyone knows Miss Lizzie Woody, and we just wanted to make sure she's definitely honored with that.
Thank
Um,
you. I appreciate it.
Next on the left, we have our special guest, but we'll go ahead and introduce him later. We'll definitely introduce him later. Miss Tanene, if you can please introduce yourself.
Sure. Greetings, divine evening. I am author Tainani Mason, known as an anthology visionary. I am the powerhouse behind Mason Jar's All Walks of Life global anthology series. I, as an anthology visionary, I help and encourage people to tell their God given empowering stories to the world and become a co author in my anthology series. And here at Melanation, we are here building our own tables. And so, yes, we do encourage you all to come to our tables. We'll come to your tables. However, come to our tables that we're building. It's all about unity. We're
It's,
building together.
yes, indeed, and I definitely appreciate that sentiment. Tanene is a very valued member of Melanation and who brings her own uniqueness to the team. And speaking of uniqueness,
I heard that coming. I heard that coming.
Unity, if you
Mhm.
could please introduce yourself.
All right. So I am Unity Unique, and I am a native from Phoenix, Arizona. And I am the founder of the Art of Forgiveness LLC. And I'm also I'm on a social media, a sister sent me here, and it's called Clubhouse. And Clubhouse, I have set up my own stage called The Art of Forgiveness, and you could check me out on there. And there's also a big gathering coming up on there. You could look at my page, and it is on Friday the 27th, and right in the middle of that is 27 is that 9, and then at 3. So, and it adds to a 13, and I'm 49, I'm 13. So that is the platform that I'm on. I'm a grandmother, I'm a bridger, and I go into places that when people give me the information, I'm going to go into those places, and I'm going to go before the community and then come back and bring it back to the community. Gratitude.
Yes, indeed. And I know you have your channel again, the 555 News. Yes. And like you were mentioning, you are really involved in the community in a more physical way with the gatherings and being showing up in person, which is a beautiful thing. Miss Janvier, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to keep it short. I am Marjorie M.J. Janvier. I am the project manager and head of Team MJ at, where is it at? It's just terrible. But anyway, I'm the project manager and I'm the head of Team MJ. And I'm happy to be here with everyone. I guess that's it for me. That's as short as I do it.
Yes, indeed. We definitely need your guidance as for the projects, being the project manager. And I'm just going to touch base because I'm just excited, and I can't really wait. Um, we do have a very special guest that's someone I really admire and respect a lot, and he will be giving us best practices. He goes by the name, affectionately, Brother Tremikus. I will introduce him officially during the segment, but I am so excited that he's here. And I just want to say thank you for your participation and all the work that you've done in our community.
Thank you, brother. Thank you all. I'm very happy to be on the show.
Okay. So, those who are watching, you can find us on YouTube at Melanation App. You can share us on YouTube. The channel name is Melanation App. We're also on Facebook under Melanation App. And if you hear the calling and you would like to contribute to the cause, you can contribute at the Cash App, which is Melanation App. And of course, Cash App has you put a $ in front. So it's $ Melanation App. That being said, I'm going to introduce the community here to Melanation via this video.
The emergence of an inspired event is now on the move, requiring all hands on deck. So here is why you should share. We have substantially invested in a systematic approach to Black economics. Our mission is to empower and uplift our community, both online and in the physical world where birds fly. Interestingly, your monthly vote steers the direction of the company. Introducing Melanation, a cutting-edge TV and an internet platform. It's making its way to the world stage with over 400 pages of state-of-the-art features. Features include movie streaming, a production studio for influencers where your production will be displayed through the television, a dating site that can be accessed through the TV, a Google Maps-powered satellite mapping system for registered Black-owned businesses and entertainment, making it easier for you to locate the community near you, and much more. We're bringing everything the community needs under one roof in order to build the proper infrastructure across the nation. Learn more on the Facebook page, family. The time.
So that's a brief introduction to the app itself.
Okay. What is this live session about?
Yes.
This live session is, did you want me to expound on this, or were we going to
Yes, please do.
Okay. I feel this live session is to introduce melanation to the people, to you, our audience, so that you can be a part of the build, which means your ideas are important to us as well. So, whatever you can bring to add to what you have heard, we're looking for that. And those executions will be clearer as we go along, because right now, this is the very beginning. And this is when you want to be a part of at the very beginning, because you don't want to build and then have to come back and rebuild.
Right.
So anyway, that's to me, that is what this live session is about, plus.
Yes.
And I agree with you. We want people to join in, and everybody has something to say, and we want to hear what you have to say and be a part of this community. Jump on in and add whatever you have that can go with us. Be a part of us.
I definitely agree with those sentiments. And keeping that in mind, what we are building is a systematic approach. And that's one of the things that we've lacked in the past. We've had phenomenal leaders who've done phenomenal things, but because of the way that it was set up, we were vulnerable, and some of these missions ended prematurely. So what we're doing is we're creating something that's not stagnant, not static, something that grows, expands continuously. And what we need in order to continue that growth is communication. First and foremost, we need to be in contact with the community to know what the needs are in the community. So that's what this session is about, is having open communication between our community and the company who's looking to actually implement sound decisions that will uplift our community.
Mhm.
That's right. So come on and be a part of us. You hear what it's all about. It starts with you.
Come on.
So what does Maafa mean?
Isn't Maafa something like the Jewish who were really put to death and exterminated, most of them, and they had to start all over again? So Maafa is something similar to that, but it's about Black people, slavery, and reconstructing after everything has been torn away. And now we are in a position where we can rebuild. And like they said on the $6 Million Man, we'll build it better.
Right. So you're speaking towards comparing the Maafa to the Holocaust.
Yes, that's it, the Holocaust.
Right.
Right. And yeah, so now we're in a better position to build it better and stronger, and to have the community really come together, because we can be all over the world now with social media.
This is correct. So let me expound on what Maafa is. So Maafa is Swahili. It directly translates to the Great Disaster. But we're using this term to actually identify the Black struggle and the Black disaster. So when we're speaking about things as chattel slavery, which happened during the transatlantic slave trade, we're speaking about things like Jim Crow laws, and systematic racism. When you combine those sentiments and those tragedies, we are using the word ma'afa to explain that to the public. So, like you said, the Jewish people have the Holocaust. Melanated people, we have the ma'afa. And the thing is this tragedy didn't just happen in one location. The tragedy happened in multiple locations in over hundreds of years, and we're still being exposed to systematic racism and unjustful laws and behaviors from the society that we're supposed to be a part of. So when we're talking about the Ma'afa, that's what we're referring to. The word post means after. Even though we're in transition, we are in transition. We're claiming the transition. We're still being subjected to a lot of the tragedies, but we're claiming the transition. And the word reconstruction, that basically means that, I mean, we've always had different reconstructions, different dynasties that has fallen, and in between there's a reconstruction phase. And now we are at that point where it's time for us to reconstruct. So we're making this declaration that we're now in the post-Maafa reconstruction phase. We have tools at our disposal, information at our disposal. We have numbers at our disposal that can help turn the tide.
Right.
And well, let me just throw this in. I feel that now we have a voice, we have a say in this reconstruction, and it's based on our visions.
Right.
This is correct. Next question here is, why is it called melanation?
I'll let y'all do that one.
Well, to me, it's because what's in my mind is that melanated people are all over the world and we're coming together under one roof, making it a nation. So, melanation. That's how I see it.
Yes, and that's a good point. Definitely, I will expound on that as well. And the thing is, it's a really important thing to have correct terminology,
That's true.
right? It's very important. Our title has changed over the years, over the decades. Negro, African American, Black, and they've changed based on political standpoints and views and how we responded to how we're being called. Um, but when you look up the history, I'm not going to go too far into it. I know Brother Tremikus. Okay, I know he's into it. I'm just going to touch on it just a little bit, why we chose this terminology. When you look at the word white and black, the word white came about during the transatlantic slave trade in America so they can distinguish who is potentially enslaved and who is the slave master. So it did not originally include all Europeans. It did not include like the Irish. They were one of the last to be considered to be white. But it was to give them an advantage. It was to give them privileges and say that they are separate from the people who are melanated. But they didn't use that terminology. They said Negro at the time or niggers at the time. And the word black again is it's disenfranchising. Even though I love our culture, I love a lot of aspects of being black, but it's disenfranchising. And the reason being is because black one is a color, and we've all heard of the one drop rule. That one drop rule, they're saying if you have one drop black in your blood, if we took out our blood and looked, it's red. It's a misnomer. There is no one drop black. Black is a color, right? And we're across the globe. We have different cultures. We have different history. There's a lot of differences. We have different ideologies, religions, foods. When it comes to the original people on this planet, there are a lot of differences, and the word black does not really account for these different concepts. However, when our oppressor came to us, they were looking at one thing, one particular thing, and we can now put a correct terminology to it. Do you have what's called EU melanin in your genes? That was the thing that determined our classification. It wasn't our religion or our place of origin. It wasn't any of that. It was, do you have EU melanin or not? One little drop. That's all it took. But they misnomed it and called it black. So the phrase melanation is speaking towards the one thing that we were assessed by when it came to our oppressors.
Oh, okay. So you say that
I would
you
love to
said
go. I would love to go. Let
All
me
right,
know when I could go.
go for it, Unity.
Okay, so when I think about melanation, I think about the mothership, and I heard people talk about this mothership. So I think about the ma, the mother, the source, and then I think about fa, God, divine order, and it's the
Unity,
sacred sound.
Unity.
Can you hear me?
Your sound is glitching. It's a little glitching.
So, okay, tell me if you could hear me. I don't know. Can everybody go on mute? Because it's that back again from last night.
No,
And then let's see if everybody's on mute, if you can hear.
It
I'm not.
sounds.
I'm not understanding.
Yeah, let's
You
go
can't.
ahead and mute everyone. Maybe that will clear up some of the background sound so she can explain her view and expound upon the word melanation.
Okay. Can you hear me? Nope. I'm gonna go out and come back in.
hopefully that'll work. But when it's glitchy like that, we can't continue because nobody wants to pay attention to a broadcast that's sounding like that.
Okay, she's back in.
Hey, so can y'all hear me?
Still glitchy.
Still glitchy. Okay. Okay. Maybe it's
Wait,
not
you're
meant for.
actually starting to clear up, actually. The last things that you said are kind of clear. Let's hear.
Okay. So when I think about melanation, like I've been I think about the mothership, and I kept hearing people talk about the mothership in like 2021, but I really didn't understand it. And then last night when we were, just talking about my alpha, I, looked at the ma and the ma, mother and source. And then the healing is happening in everywhere because the sun of our melanation is strong, but it's strong together as a community, and we're relearning how to be a community. And then the Fa, God, divine order. So God's divine order in the Fa. It's a sacred sound, a spark, a light amongst God's children. And then God says, God, he talks about guiding our paths, and it's a S on the end of paths. So I think about the path that God is guiding for a time such as now, as we're coming together on this beautiful platform, melanation, a nation on the back of it. And then there's a reconstruction that's happening in what this is called, right? It's a post, but it's a reconstruction. It was post-porn once upon a time, but now it's a reconstruction that's happening amongst us beautiful, amazing, extraordinary people. We are rebuilding something that has been out of balance, broken into something stronger, and
Right.
it's the little g, which God called us little gods, and then we got the big God, our God that is our umbrella, our covering. And then we got our inner God. God said, I'm within you. I am not, the kingdom is at hand, not on the outside of you. So I thought that was pretty cool just to see melanation and see the team on here, and it's five of us in the team. And then we got Tremikus, the number
Right.
six, and that is the number of man. So
That
that's what
is,
I want to talk about. So
yeah,
gratitude.
that is a beautiful sentiment, a beautiful way of looking at the words and breaking it down. I'm not sure if that was etymological or if it was, just definitional. But that's a beautiful way of breaking down the phrase. We are approaching the time for our actual guest speaker to share with us his wisdom and knowledge and give us that much needed guidance. So let me go ahead and bring out our bio here.
Yes,
One
can't wait
sec.
to hear them.
Okay, so Brother Tremikus was born in Flint, Michigan, as a devoted husband of 21 years and a father of 5 sons. Effectively known as Brother Tremikus, has been dedicated member of the Nation of Islam for 33 years, having accepted Islam at the age of 16. In 1998, he became the youngest student minister of his time, leading the Muslim community in Flint, Senegal. Senat, I might need your help with that one.
Saginaw, Michigan.
Saginaw, yes, indeed. He later served as chairperson on the local organization committee (LOC) for the Millions More movement in 2005, mobilizing over 100 participants for the historical march in Washington, D.C., while also building local initiatives such as radio programs, after school programs, a 1 acre farm, peacekeepers, peacemaker, community policing organizations. And after relocating to Phoenix in 2014, Brother Tremikus coordinated the 10 Ministries Task Force of Muslim Mosques number 32, and in 2015 became a steering committee chair of the Phoenix LLC for Justice or Else, supporting 20th anniversary of the Million Man March. Today, he continues his work to build independence and self-sufficiency for his people through Justice or Else movement, while serving as student assistant minister and student protocol director of Mosque number 32. And just, I just want to say personally, he's someone that I've always admired and looked up to. His presence, when he walks into a room, you can definitely feel his presence. So thank you, Brother Tremikus, for coming, and you are definitely appreciated.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Well, I guess I want to say, I'm looking at and listening to you all and just studying your words. That breakdown that Unity just gave, you all too deep for me.
No, you're the one that's deep.
I'm just a farm boy, Michigan. I thank God for you all and your show. It's really very humbling to be here. I'm glad to be here and have this conversation and talk with you all. This has just been a journey for me. And this phase of the journey that I'm in now, I think is one of the most beautiful phases of my life. And I'm looking forward to sharing. So thank you all for having me on. Thank you for the great work that you're doing with the Melanation app. I was listening to you all talk about Maafa and our sister. She gave it a relationship with the Jewish Holocaust. And in truth, that doesn't compare to what we have gone through for nearly 5 centuries. So to see us now using modern technology to educate, uplift, to unite each other under the ideas of economic development, under the ideas of unity, and in a spirit of brotherhood and sisterhood. I mean, we've come a long way. Mm-hmm. And I'm very thankful to see this manifestation of our work, because I really believe, I'm not saying there's no one that ever done an app before, but I do see this as very unique. And I do see this as very, no pun intended, sister, unique. But I see this as very different. And I think that this will help us. Again, you said it, brother, what we failed at and struggled at and had interfered with. It's the establishment of systems. And the beauty of systems is that they operate even unconsciously, they operate and they function, and they allow us to move, they allow us to be productive, they allow us to build, they allow us to grow, they allow for new ideas and new thinking to come in so we can continue developing ourselves. So thank you for allowing me to be on the show with you. And I'm here to serve and, and go on to this conversation.
Yes, indeed. So you mentioned one of the struggles that we had is not having a system in place. So the question that I would have for you is what type of attributes would the ideal system look like? What type of things will be included in that system?
Well, I'll go from the vision of the Just as the Else movement, the Millions More movement, where many leaders came together. And I want to be very clear. We've had those who have come and tried to establish systems among us. This is not entirely new. The struggle is to maintain those systems and grow those systems without interference. Okay. So what do we need? Well, it's very clear from my vantage point that Black people in America are a nation within a nation. We're separate and unequal. So if that is the case, and we're looking right now at a government that's not able to provide for our needs educationally, they're not able to provide for our needs politically, they're not able to provide for our safety, the list goes on. We have to start thinking nationhood. We have to start thinking about those systems that will allow us to sustain our lives and to grow. We have to start thinking about the needs of our people. So what do we need? We need food, we need clothing, we need shelter, right? So what does that entail? That means that we got to find some of the best minds among us in those areas. People who cannot feed themselves will never be free. You can be as revolutionary as you want to be, and you can buy as many guns as you want. But if you can't feed yourself, well, you will have a starving army, and a starving army cannot fight. You got to learn to feed ourselves. People will never be free as long as their children are being educated by their former slave masters. Those who oppressed us and mistreated us are not going to teach us properly. So we need our own education system, and we need those best minds among us to come together and figure out what is the type of curriculum and education we need to give our children so they can free themselves, and not an education that makes you an employee. A true education, I'm taught from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad through the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, brings out, Sister talked about it, the inner God. The inner God quality has to be brought out through the educational system. Here's a political system that doesn't work for us. We can't invest in democracy as it is. We can't invest in the party, Republican, Democratic Party. We can't invest in the presidency. We can't invest in those things that have not served us traditionally for 400 years. So what system of governance will we have for ourselves? If law enforcement is unjust and mistreats us, then how will we create a system of laws and protection of laws and rights that will protect us as a people and ensure that we achieve what truly is justice? We have to think nation. We have to think about our future and the establishment of our independence, not because we want it, but because God wants it.
Yes.
And if you look at history and you look at scripture, God never brought a people out to integrate them. He always brings the people out to separate them and make them a nation of their own. So in a nutshell, brother, not to be too long-winded, it is the system of governance. How do we govern ourselves, right? And bringing those minds together to establish that. So yes.
I have to
Yes.
say, so there's no long-winded for you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, sister.
So
Thank you.
what we're looking to do is we are looking to conversate and take away the jewels that we can because we fully intend to implement the strategies.
Mm, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
You know, one of the things, brother, that we struggle with, I got to bring this up because whenever you look at the movements among us uh, that have been started, we have always been the greatest betrayer of self. Whether it's envy, whether it's jealousy, whatever it may be, there's always a stumbling block that we put in front of our own self. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, and you heard the saying before, we put our own foot in our own way. We have to learn, we have to gain a redemptive spirit among our own people. If you look at our condition, and I kind of jumped the gun now that I think about it. If you look at our condition, before you get to a place of self-governance, you mentioned the establishment of the peacemakers movement that we started in Flint, Michigan, or it was one of the cities we started in under the leadership of a brother by the name of Captain Dennis Muhammad. He's going all over the country, and he started this organization called the Peacekeepers. And then we came with the peacemakers. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan pointed out in the scripture, he said, you can't keep peace unless you make peace. So look at the condition of our community. We have to make peace with each other in our own communities. What good, we are taught, is it for us to establish buildings and institutions? But we have not developed human beings. If human beings are not developed, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said they would destroy everything that you build. Now look at our community. Look at the condition of our people. There has to be a re-education of our people. There has to be a redemption of our people. We suffered in slavery, not just from the chattel, not just the work, not just the can't see, back-breaking work that we did, but it was something that was done to our minds. See, there was a sickness, there was a disease created in our mind. We call it self-hatred. So what that did is it put a internal checkmate in us. So whenever we see something being built by our own self, this self-hatred comes out, and we start destroying ourselves. So a lot of Black women, they're not worried about the Ku Klux Klan anymore. They're not worried about the skinhead. I don't walk out my door and worry about some racist white organization. If it ain't the police department doing anything to me. In our own neighborhood, we become the greatest enemies of self. So somebody has to come and re-educate us. Somebody has to come and teach us Black love. You know, Dr. King did a wonderful job going around the country, teaching turn the other cheek.
Sure did.
Just to raise the question, we have to learn turn the other cheek for our own people. We have to learn mercy, love, tolerance, patience for our own people.
That's it.
You know, we go around calling our young brothers YN, excuse the language, but young niggas. They are not that. They are not that. That is what they've been made into. But their nature is righteousness. Their nature, they come from God. And somebody has to wake up that spirit and not condemn them, but teach them a better way. They are victims of a society. They are not the creators of the condition that they live in. They are living, breathing victims of a society that did not love or care for them. See, all of these things have to be reversed. These psychological problems that we suffer from, these emotional traumas that we suffer from, they have to be reversed. We got to start there. Redevelopment of our people, re-education of our people, turning us back to ourselves and the love of self and the love of brotherhood and sisterhood and the development of our community and the forgiveness of ourselves in our own community so that we can grow and we can develop beyond the point that we are in today. That's what we have to do first. Then we can look at systems of governance and we can look at all of those other things that I mentioned before. But we got to start at the base level. Somebody has to teach us who we are and how to love ourselves.
Exactly.
That makes
I
sense?
feel like I have a slave mentality because my ancestors came from Africa who would run down through generations until it got to me, that kind of mentality.
Mm-hmm. And that's we have to understand this now. We can't lose this. We were in chattel slavery for over 300 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you tell me where, when slavery ended, where did we go to some institute or some doctor, psychologist to repair what had been done to us? It never happened. Never happened. Dr. King made a statement. He said that they tell us, I'm paraphrasing his words, they tell us that we had to pick ourselves up by our own bootstrap. He said it's a heck of a thing or a hell of a thing to tell a man who is bootless that he has to pick himself up by his own bootstrap. They took our boots.
Oh, wow.
We don't know our name. We don't know our religion. We don't know our culture. We're learning it today. We're getting better. But it's a small majority of us that are coming to consciousness compared to the masses of our people.
Mm-hmm.
So repair work reparations is not just money. Reparations, in the word reparation, Sister Unity, you'll like this. In the word reparations, it's the word repair. You have to repair us first. If you don't repair us, then you're taking broken men and broken women. If I gave you a car with broken parts, it could look nice.
Mm-hmm.
But if the engine is broken, if the starter doesn't work, if the battery is dead, it's no good. You have to repair us first to get us back to working condition. And that's the work that has not been done on a consistent basis. I thank Almighty God for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Mr. Louis Farrakhan because they've engaged in that repair work. The Honorable Marcus Garvey, he engaged in that repair work. And there are many others who have get engaged in that type of repair work, but that's the necessary work. And you have to understand too, lastly, that our leadership has not had a chance to develop. Most of our leaders, you look at Malcolm, you look at Dr. King, you look at our brother Fred Hampton, they were killed as young men.
Right.
So what does that do? That deprives us of the maturity and the development of our leaders. Because a man at 20 or a man at 39 does not think the same as a man at 50 or 70. Or like we look at the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan today, 90-something years old. That's a different kind of maturity in thinking. Those are lessons and experiences that I've learned, lived experiences that allow us to develop from one state to the other. So we have to look at all of these things and take a sobering audit of where we are and what needs to happen as a people and start doing the hard work, not the easy work, the hard work of restoring us back to where we've fallen.
One of the things that I wanted to bring up when we're talking about the traumas, I actually learned, and the thing is, we don't have all the knowledge and information, all the men on the planet today, we're barely scratching the surface when it comes to truth. But what I was told is that there's a physiological effect from trauma that could be passed down generationally.
Yeah, DNA, that's right.
And that is something that is difficult to overcome if we're experiencing one traumatic event after another.
After the other. Brother, you said something. This is critical for our people. And, we've been sold a bill of goods and that bill of goods involves integration. But can I tell you something that Dr. King wrote in his autobiography? You can go look it up. He was talking about separation, and he was talking about the need of a temporary separation. He said that he learned something from the integration of the schools. He said that we had integrated without power. You can't integrate in a system that refuses to accept you based on hatred of your very existence. See? Because what you do is you subject yourself to more of the same. There has to be a separation. You cannot get better if we stay with those who have given us, passed on to us, infected us with the sickness. We need a period where we are to ourselves so that we can work on self. But that will never happen as long as we are part of this society. It does not allow it. It constantly inflicts trauma. You're absolutely right, brother. And what happened is that's passed on from generation to generation. We've all heard the story on this point about the sister. She would cook the turkey for Thanksgiving. And every time she cooked the turkey, she would cut the legs off, and she would cut the wings off. And somebody asked her, why you do that? No, I don't know. My grandmother did it. My mother did it. Well, you go ask her. She asked the mother. The mother said, I don't know. My grandmother did it. They went and asked the grandmother, and the grandmother said, oh, I did that because our oven was too small. Mm-hmm. See? So there's some things that we're carrying on that are traumas that are inside our DNA structure that have been things that we act out and act on, and we're not even aware where it comes from. Somebody has to repair the mind.
Sounds like you're talking about indoctrination.
Yes, brother. We absolutely have been indoctrinated. Absolutely.
Let me just throw something in, and it's hard for me to say because I feel that all of what we are saying, there's validity to it. It's true. And if we could do all these different things to change, my thing is people are not hearing these messages that you are sharing with people. There's a certain amount of people hearing what you're saying, but the majority of the people are not hearing that. I look at Melanation as a platform to where we can start changing that dynamic to where you can go to Melanation and you're going to find a lot of what you all are talking about out there because it's a part of the whole. If people are not hearing what you're saying, no, nothing is really going to change. And right. I don't think that we consider when we say these things, how far is it going to get? It only will get to that certain area that you're in or whatever, and someone else is out there saying something else, and it's going to stay in that area. But when can we bring all of that together to where we're all kind of hearing the same thing, if that makes sense? And that's my journey for the last number of years. Those issues are not being resolved. How do we get to the people and consistently tell them, what is going on and what we have to do and how we have to do all that? Because they're not getting it. Right. Let's resolve that issue of making sure we are getting information, making sure that we understand the information that we are given. And so those are small things that we don't even consider that will make a difference in the whole, in other words.
Right. I like how he brought out the comparison of a broken car. Batteries bad, engines bad. It looks nice, but it's not going to work. And we have been told so many lies, and people believe all those things. And so it's kind of hard to recover from all the things they've been taught, and it's embedded in them. And that's why I really like this book. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see that?
No.
Well, it's called Seven Little White Lies. It's kind of a play on words. Seven Little White Lies to the conspiracy to, oh, I can't see it very well. Well, anyway, the conspiracy to, what's that word? I don't know, Black self-image, to destroy Black self-image. And it's written by Jabari Osazi, but you guys can't see it?
Yes, we can see it. So Brother Tremikus has definitely brought out a lot of different facts and explained the state of our people currently and the different things that we need.
Right.
And I have so many questions. I know you spoke on the elders as far as needing our leaders to actually gain the time frame that's necessary to evolve the mind so that they can become the more senior leaders. And that's a really great point. And I know you started off talking about the youth and how we needed to educate the youth because we're self-destructive. We don't have we don't have the wherewithal not to fight against ourselves as young people. So those are really two important points. Now, me, I like to get to the brass tasks. So these efforts that we put in require a lot of tools. We need certain tools to be impactful so that we can overcome some of these obstacles. And one of the main tools is always finances.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was told that societies are really successful when they're not dealing with having to fight for the roof over their heads or fight for food. If you can stabilize your basic necessities, then you have the time available to think about higher frequencies and higher knowledge and to overcome some of the institutionalized concepts that's been placed in within us.
Right.
But Brother Tremikus, you've definitely brought up a lot of good, interesting things that we can think about. But my question is going to be based on finance. How do we finance ourselves?
Brother, you know, that's exactly what I wanted to speak to. Can I speak to two things?
Yes, sir.
I will tell you I do have another meeting that starts at about 7:30. But to Sister Lizzie, this is where it starts. We got to do the hard work, right? And this is the hard work. But just remember, what we call white supremacy started in a small area called Europe. And over time, it spread throughout the world. And it's the same with truth. It's the same with wisdom. So these type of platforms help. And the more we unite, the more we support each other, the more of us that are willing to do the hard work of educating our people, you will start seeing it in truth. If you really look, you can see there is a change that is taking place. The consciousness of the people is being raised. Okay. Secondly, brother, you really said it. There's a lot of different ways, but, you know, we all got to eat. And money and food go hand in hand.
Right.
There is money in the food. There's money in the soil. So why not pool our resources and grow our own food and take that food to market? There's no reason we shouldn't have our own grocery store. We shop at them.
Right.
We made Walmart rich. We made Fry's rich. We made all of these Costco's. We've made them rich. How come we can't produce our own products for ourselves and support our own selves?
We can.
Start small, grow big.
Hmm.
Start in your neighborhood. Start with your neighbors. Grow from there. See, we don't have to figure out anything except why we won't support each other. And the simple answer to that is to support each other. I don't have to go into a whole lot of details of why we haven't done. We know what we haven't done, and we know what needs to be done. So now we have to develop the mindset and make up our mind that we're going to do it. We're going to make the sacrifice. If it
That's it.
takes me a little bit more and a little bit longer to find a black person selling soap, I'm going to buy soap from them so I can take my bath. I got to find a black person selling shea butter, selling some type of lotion or whatever. I'm going to buy it from you. If I got to pay a little bit more, then I got to pay a little bit more. And then we start looking now at the economic development of our community. Yes, we can be the 14th or 15th richest nation in the world, but we're consumers. So now we start in small pockets to figure out how do we take this money and use this money to reinvest in our own community to develop what we need.
Right.
The mindset that we have to have is that we're brothers and sisters. And that if you don't have, I don't have.
Yeah.
If your children hungry, my children are hungry.
That's it.
See? That if we're going to be successful, all of us have to be successful together. It can't be a few of us with the millions and the billion. They counted 23 black millionaires, or billionaires, I think, last year. But if we're not using that $23 billion to develop our own community, what good is it for if we take money and we turn that dollar back out? And it's not hard. We live in Phoenix, Arizona, and we see our African brothers and sisters. They do it. You can
That's
go.
what I was just thinking. You're
They do
absolutely
it.
correct.
They're not smarter or better than us, but what they have is a sense of love for self, a sense of identity, a sense of family
Right.
that they understand they have to support their own. So you can go all up and down in Phoenix. You can go all up and down the south side of Phoenix and see these mom and pop shops, but they've been here for 20, 30 years. They like they ain't going nowhere.
Right.
And you can see the influx of traffic. You can go to a ranch market, or you can go to a El Super, and you can see them selling groceries. There ain't nothing fancy in there that we can't do ourselves, but the mentality and the thinking of brotherhood, sisterhood, family. We got so many problems with each other. And we allow the problems that we have with each other to interfere with our growth and development. We have to mature. Man, who you are is not based on how I feel about you, what you did or said to me. We're so immature in our thinking, we hold grudges against each other. We don't look at the bigger picture. We
Right.
don't look at the growth and development over a community beyond our egos
That's it.
and beyond our need to feel important. Or
Yeah.
beyond our need to feel like we got to go tit for tat. No, let it go.
Put away
See,
those minor things to work for the good of the
for the
bigger
good
thing.
of the whole,
Right.
for the good of our children, for the good of our future. How many movements have we had that have been destroyed because of personal differences, internal conflict,
Yeah.
people having a disagreement with each other, and we're like little children. We tear everything up when we get upset. That's an emotional response. We got to think about where we want to go, where we want to grow to, and then what kind of attitudes and behaviors is it going to take to get there. May take a little patience, may take a little forgiveness, may take a little understanding. Well, what will you lose?
You're gonna gain and not lose.
We're going to gain, but we got to take our egos out the way. We got to take self-hatred off the table.
Right.
We want to talk about how the world treats us, but let's talk about how we treat ourselves. How can you expect anyone to treat you better than you treat yourself? How can I expect that? No, we have to grow beyond the emotional immaturity that we display.
Right.
We have to grow beyond the egotistical behavior that we display. And we got to understand, like you said, brother, something happened to us. We got to be fixed. And we got to be like a doctor. You know what they call you when you go see a doctor? A patient. A patient. We have to understand that we are patients. And it's going to take patience to heal us.
Right.
And that our community has to become like a hospital, not a morgue. A hospital.
Care for each other, yeah.
And consistency. We gotta become consistent in supporting, consistent in showing up, consistent in looking, going within and looking at that hate and facing that hate, because that hate is real and it's deeply rooted. So even when we might say or talk bad about ourselves, that is a condition to talk ugly about yourself.
That's right.
Right.
And
One of
we
the
gotta
things
go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
I want to say something about the way you address this question. And it's a very important thing, but I want to bring it to the forefront of everyone's mind. Brother Tremikus has said we have the tools. He said we just need the mindset. We have the tools. I'm looking online right now, and it says that black consumers spend, well, black spending power in the U.S. is estimated to reach approximately 1.98 trillion, not billion, basically $2 trillion. We have the tools, we have the finances, we have so much at our disposal right now, but the crutch is basically ourselves, our mindset. And
That's
in order to address the mind, we need to have the rites of passages, we need to have instructions, and like Brother Tremikus said, we need to understand we have to diagnose ourselves,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
We have to be proactive when it comes to those things and look at each other as a family, I and I.
There you go. I and
Yeah.
I.
Yeah, and then looking at history, like I just learned of Harbor Fest. They said that's one of the biggest consumer along with Juneteenth, and it's aligning with Juneteenth. So what are we supporting in Juneteenth that is paying for all this other stuff? So in history, what was the Harbor Fest? It has something to do with military. We high five our children to go into military to fight something that's not even got anything to do with us. So we killing.
Yes,
Hello.
Yeah.
yes.
So
See, there has to be.
just
Oh, go
think,
ahead.
we
We need
like
class. Class has begun. Go to people classes. Go to Tremikus class. Go to everybody class. Go to class. Write notes. Take them down. Read books together.
and don't just read, but do it when you learn what to do.
Re-education. Re-education.
I
That's
want
what
to
we're talking
bring,
Be a hearer and not a doer. It's in the Bible. Be a hearer, but don't just be a hearer, but be a doer.
about.
I want to bring up an aspect or the concept behind melanation. There's a
Behind
front
who said again, brother? The concept behind
melanation, the app.
melanin. Yes, sir.
So there's a front to the app, and then there's the backstage, similar to here at StreamYard. The front stage is to actually, you know what? Let me touch on this really quick. I'm going to bring it over. One second. Let
So,
me share this image.
so they say it takes a village to raise a child. So all of us together as a village have to help raise each other because there's stuff that's missing that we don't understand. A lot of people don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go down here because it's said really well. It's going to take me a minute to read this over. So One of the features, we have over 400 pages to the app. One of the features is the movie feature. So this is nation building. So why do we have movies? So we utilize entertainment as a strategic gateway to reach the community at large. Cultural draws us in, but consciousness keeps us together.
Mhm.
So this is a way of addressing some of the mindset. We have to first galvanize each other, come together, because we all have different levels of understanding and our different mindsets, but we have to come together first. So the front of the app is entertainment, but through shared stories, music, creativity, we grow, we gather the people, transforming attention into alignment and participation into purpose. Galvanizing the community is not a slogan, it's a mechanism for empowerment. So, this is one of the ways that we are looking to address the mindset of our people. Instead of coming at it full frontal with psychotherapy, we're bringing us together in what we're already attracted to. So we're going to attract
Can
our
I
youth.
can I ask? Go ahead. I'm sorry, brother. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Not at all. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I just want to add to that, I'm saying this because I think you may have just seen the message I sent to you, but I want to jump in this because it's important to me. You know, there's more than there's so many ways for us to do this. We cannot, we there, we cannot limit ourselves. And brother, I'm glad you brought up entertainment because that's what they've used to educate our youth for the last 20 or 30 years into this type of mindset that we see today. So entertainment, agriculture, education, science and technology. Some will learn by the app is doing something weird there. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you. Let me remove this
Can you hear
here.
me?
Yes. Yes, I can hear
Can
you.
you all hear me?
Yes.
We can hear
Yes.
you.
I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
So,
all right. I just want to say, brother, it's so important what you're laying out here because we got to understand. You, they attacked us from several different directions, right? So our response has to be the same. It has to be the same. We can't confine ourselves, and I'm bringing this up because oftentimes you see us in these type of debates and these type of arguments of which one is best, what leader is best. Everybody ain't joining the Nation of Islam. I would love for you to do it, but you're not, right? Everybody's not going to listen to this leader or that leader. Everybody, we're not, unity doesn't mean, this is my point. Unity does not mean uniformity. We are not all the same. But we have to understand that there are many different methods and ideologies for us to use to get to the place of liberation, complete and full liberation of our people. And if you look, the founding fathers of this country, they didn't all have the same belief, except that they believed that they should be free from oppression. And they used whatever means, methods, tools that were available to get them there. And now America is 250 years old. And to Sister Liz's point, even the idea of the United States of America, it started very small with a few colonies. And even among those colonies, initially, they did not agree. But eventually it spread. And you're looking at now one of the most powerful nations in the history of the world. So we have an example in front of us that it can be done. But we also have to be, Sister Unique said it, we have to be students. And we have to study what has happened in front of us and take the best of that and apply. So you put it at the bottom that these ideas that you said in the beginning, these will be used to grow and develop the movement. I'm happy to contribute in whichever way that I could, if I could give an idea or share an experience that helps. Why not? We cannot be selfish, and we cannot be self-centered. I will say this: the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was asked a question. He said, they asked him, because at one time they believed that the earth was the center of the universe. And then they discovered, they said the sun is at the center of the universe. But then the question was asked to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, where is the sun the center of the universe? He said it's very near the center. And scientists have discovered that even the sun rotates around something. So there's always, I'm using that example to say, there's always a more powerful idea. And if you look at the sun, if you look at the planet, you look at the earth, all of them within the sphere of orbit submit to the higher power. So maybe it's your time to shine. Maybe it's your time to have the gravitational pull that we should all incline to. Maybe your idea is the best idea for now. So let's not fight each other. Let's get behind the best idea. And if it's going to help our community become better, we would be foolish. You would be foolish trying to fight to get outside as a human being, trying to get outside the gravitational pull of the earth. But let's just say you do. You still have to contend with the sun. And let's just say you get outside the gravitational pull of the sun. You got to contend with whatever is pulling on the sun. So be humble. Humble. Don't feign humility. Not this kind of humility that makes you less than yourself, the humility that recognizes that God is in all of us. And at any time, the wisdom of God can come out of your brother or your sister. And if you hear the wisdom of God coming out the brother or the sister next to you, bow. And accept that wisdom and use it for the growth and development of our community, our people, our nation, our future. We cannot rob ourselves because we live in a universe that is always giving, giving, giving. And just like the light of the sun, when it shines, everything it touches, it gives life, and power. So listen to the wisdom and use that wisdom that's around us, that's coming through us to continue to grow. Not a competition. It's not my group is better than your group or my leader is better than you. No. It's a people. I get a different kind of nutrient from a banana than I get from an apple. I get a different kind of nutrient from a cauliflower than I get from an eggplant. The sun acts differently with its power on the planet than the moon. But all of them give me what I need. All of us give each other what we need. All of us have a little bit of the Creator deposited in us. And if we're wise, if we're smart, we nurture and grow that part of each other. We don't pay attention to the negative side of each other. We grow and we nurture the best part. That's what we feed off of. See? So I just wanted to add that, brother. I don't have a lot of time, unfortunately, but I wanted to add that because you really sparked that thought. I think that what you are doing and what you all are contributing and what you all are lending to the Phoenix community and eventually, I believe, the worldwide development of our people is invaluable.
Absolutely.
I thank God for you. And I pray that I've been able to say in these few minutes. Unfortunately, I have another lecture I have to go do here. So I got to get my mind shifted. But brother, I really thank you all for allowing me a few moments to be on the show. And anytime you need me to come on. And hopefully next time I even be better prepared. I kind of misunderstood the format.
Listen to you.
I enjoyed your words. They really mean a lot. And I hope everyone else can understand exactly what you brought to the table. Beautiful.
Yes. Praise God.
You will be back. You will be back.
Lily said it is what it is.
You will be back because, I feel that we need execution. What we are talking about, we need to follow through and get it done or get it started.
That's right.
Because you said a lot, and what you've said, that's what we need. And we've been needing it forever. But we gotta fix it. We gotta make it happen.
That's right. Now, Sister Lydia, I got on a suit and bow tie today, but Sister Unity, when you see me, I got on my farmer clothes. See? So we got to be willing to do the work on every level.
That's right.
To talk, to give lip service. I'm gonna get in trouble. Hold on. But to give lip service, it harms us. We have to be willing to sit down after we talk about it to execute and to work.
Right. Absolutely.
Because the scriptures say faith without works is dead. Show me a man of faith and I will show you a man of works. And work, the minister, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, work is the mathematical equation that fourth time distance equals work. He said, if I'm pushing on a rock, he said, I can be exerting all of my energy. I could be sweating, but if that rock don't move, I ain't did no work.
Okay.
So the work that we do is measured by the movement we create by the energy that we exert.
It's an absolute honor.
See? And if it's not moving, it may mean now you got to develop another methodology, means, a way to get the work to move forward.
Right.
And we cannot be afraid to say, oh, I made a mistake. Let's change direction. Mm-hmm. Oh, the way that I'm doing it's not the best way. Let's see if my brother or my sister has a better way. Absolutely. Because the objective is to move the work forward.
Right.
That's what we're trying to do. So thank you, family.
That being said, we really appreciate the wisdom that you've and the jewels that you've dropped on us. And we're going to continue to do the work. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep our ears open, the lines of communication open. We ask the community to reach out, to let us know the situation in the different communities, because our ears are open and we're looking to install and implement action, something that we can bring to fruition all the goals that we've been discussing. So that being said, I appreciate everyone for coming and watching. We are here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So this has been a great session. There's been a lot of love. Other than that, all I have to say is peace, and everyone have a good night.
Bless you all. Thank you.
New beginnings every day.
Have a better one. Peace. Have a better one.
Okay. All right, so the stream ended. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. That was fantastic.
I really enjoyed what he had to say.
Yeah,
brought it down to earth. Yeah.
Yep. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. I'll see you guys on Messenger.
Okay, talk to you later. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Everybody Peace. Have a great evening.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank you.
He said he had to go by 7:15. He didn't leave till what time is it right now? It's 7:30, I think. He had to be where he's going by 7:30 or 7:23. I was trying to tell him to go, but I didn't get to put my words in there. I want to say thank you for coming, but we know you have to be where you're going by 7:30. You have another meeting, so we don't want to hold you, but we want to thank you so much for coming. What you cooking? Cake. I thought it was cake.